Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego211, and in today's video, this happens to be a brand new TV show review out on the channel for you, and today's happens to be the long-awaited Season 5 review for Cobra Kai that airs over on Netflix, so without further ado, let's discuss. Alrighty, so I have been pumped for to make this review. This has actually been I have not done a movie or TV show review in a while, since Thor: Love and Thunder was the last one back in July that I have made. So it's great to be back here, and I'm actually wearing my Taekwondo tie-dyed shirt here for this review because I've actually taken martial arts, and so I thought I would wear this shirt specifically for this review. So, with that out of the way, I'm just so grateful to be back, and stay tuned for more reviews like this one in the future. And be sure to click the card up there for Cobra Kai Season 4 review that I did make about a year ago, or earlier this year, that's when it came out. So without all that stuff out of the way, let's get to it. So the first thing I wrote down, as I always do, my notes here for these TV show or movie reviews, is the soundtrack or score for whoever composes these this content. And for this show, it's Leo Berenberg and Zach Robinson, and I'll say a fan of this stuff. I don't actively listen to what they put out. I've looked at their YouTube channel, and it looks like the only stuff that they have is for Cobra Kai. I think they might have other minor stuff that they've made, but I'm a fan of this stuff, and every time I get when they promote that the season's coming out, one of the things I look forward to is specifically listening to this type of music, their soundtrack, their stuff. And I love it so much. I just love the little nuances and details to the motifs that they bring to the fight. Specifically, we'll get into the nitty-gritty stuff later here in this review, but I am just a fan of this music. I feel like the earlier seasons, what they do, like my favorite stuff is like the fights, like the final battles, even just the like I said, like the one-on-one fights, the little like character theme motifs, and everything works for each character. Like each character has a little theme that plays to them as they're walking around, or you see them. It's like, oh, that's gonna play, or oh, that's their music, and you can look it up online what I'm talking about. It's just so great. I look forward to hearing it, and there's also new tracks as well that just are bangers, and to me, as a music fan, I personally love to listen to and get excited about. It's not like underwhelming. It definitely works, and in particular, this show, the music in this show works like where I watch other shows, and I'm like, just like kind of like Obi-Wan, it left me underwhelmed, and I'm like, the music in the show just didn't have any sort of push to me. But anyway, that's something I kind of enjoy about the show. The music inside of it works on all levels. Going on further, I want to talk about this introduction to this season a little bit. So the beginning of it, where last season ended off with Miguel going to Mexico to find his real father, or I guess his father, his birth father, because Johnny is kind of like that mentor for him, but he's not really a father quite yet. But he's going off to find his birth father in Mexico because his heritage is Mexican. And where last season ended off, I thought was a nice, neat ending to the story altogether. I didn't, it wasn't like emotionally like, oh my god, this hits me in any way, or it was like, oh my god, like a big, sudden cliffhanger per se, but it definitely, like Season 2, how Season 2 ended, but to me, Season 4, the way it ended was a nice, like, okay, this Season 5, like, where's this gonna go? Who's his father? Who could it be? Theorizing all these different things and what's going to happen. Who is this guy? And once Season 5 started, and then Johnny and Robbie are together trying to find Miguel, and then Miguel ends up finding this guy named, not Miguel, because that's his name, that's the main character's name, but it was some, like, generic name. And all of a sudden, like, when I'm watching this, and I'm watching this with my parents, and I go, well, it could be anybody here. I thought it started with an M for some reason. If you guys know what I'm talking, let me know in the comments below what his name was. because I'm just gonna like sit here for a while. You know what? I'm gonna pause the video. I just looked it up. The name was Hector Salazar, and when he first said that he was looking for a guy named Hector, and then this guy claims he's Hector, like, oh, my name's Hector, and of some sort, and then he sees this guy where they're like, oh, Hector, and I'm going, okay, but is that just like a generic Spanish name? It could be anybody. And then he's finally talking with this family. He's like, he saves this kid, which was really great, really heartfelt. Like, I appreciate that he was trying to save a kid. He does it. And then they're like, come with us. The guy's like, Hector comes like, oh, come have dinner with us. And for this, your family now. And okay, great. And everything that happened in this little plot was fine, and it worked, and you know, suddenly you see, oh, it is his father. You realize that because he's telling all this bad information that doesn't really sit well with the audience as well as Miguel. And you find out, okay, this is not his father, or his father did some bad things. Then Miguel goes and tells his mom, just doesn't want to be there for him. And then he goes off with Johnny and Robbie and back to America, back to where they live, and back to his mom. But I'm like going, okay, at the same time, this could not really be the dad. Like, it could be anybody. It could just be some rando dude named Hector Salazar. But it was really him. I mean, they portrayed the character as his dad. I mean, it was pretty obvious, but I felt like watching that, like, the first time he met up with the dude, I'm like, are you really sure that's your father? Like, it could be literally anyone. Like, how do you know? Do you have an ID? Here's an ID. My name, this is your birth father. Did you get a DNA sample? I don't know. I'm looking, like, way more into this than I should be, but I thought it was a little interesting. Anyway, I did like the story, how hard it did hit, though. Like, all these negative things this dude was looking into, and, like, how Miguel couldn't see that. Like, how he just wanted to bomb. I felt for that. Like, a father relationship, even a mother relationship. Like, how he left early in his life. I'm like, dang, that's so sympathetic. And then they leave, and Robbie, going into that, I want to mention something about the characters, like how they connect, how, you know, Robbie and Miguel still interact was really interesting. And I couldn't remember going into the season, I'm like, why are they still fighting again? Is this because of the whole thing in season 2, like the fight or whatever? I'm like, didn't they already resolve that in the whole tournament thing in season 4, like last year? Okay, I guess they didn't. And they're still fighting, they're still having a bickering argument. I'm like, this is hilarious. This is one of the things I love about this show. Not that teenagers, as myself, like, argue, like, oh yeah, teenagers arguing is the best. No. And which I've really never done myself, but it feels like they do it in such a silly way that it's so fun and entertaining to watch, in my opinion. And going along with that, I'll mention something about the characters later. I love this season, even in the other seasons too, that each season amps it up, just takes it up a couple notches with the relationship level. For me, that's another favorite thing I love about the show is that the relationships are just so great. And in my opinion, get better with all the episodes. As each episode progresses, all the relationships get better, in my opinion. I cannot wait for next season, how they're going to take it. I hope, if next season, again, we'll get to this later, but if the next season is the last, I hope they end it in a very satisfying way. But the relationships with either Sam and Miguel, Robbie and Tori, Moon and Hawk, Moon and Eli, and then Dimitri and Yasmin are all the couples, and they're just, it's so good. This is one of the things I love about these teenage romances. It works so well in this show, and it's, I don't feel like it ever misses a beat for me. Let me know if it misses a beat for you. I would like to know. Each character, I guess that's kind of one of the things I want to integrate into this. Each character throughout the seasons and in their relationship has their own arc. Like Hawk, when you think about it, and Eli, like, he embraced the Hawk. Throughout this journey of his relationship, like, when he got that tattoo for Moon, she's like, I'm not doing this just for a tattoo. I don't want you to be a bully anymore. And he's still dating her, even though he had the redemption and he joined Miyagi-Do. Their relationship has had, he's dealt with trauma. He's come out of that into the light, and they're still together. And I find the writing of the show to be very, very creative, very well done, and it just kind of comes full circle. Like they're one time the character's in one place, and then they're in another place, and they come back together. It's phenomenal. Yeah, so the relationships, like these characters have certain motives. All of these characters, even all the characters in Miyagi-Do, all the characters in Cobra Kai, and even in Eagle Fang, all of the dojos working together, each of them have a motive. Even Kyler, who's just in the background, who's just kind of this one-dimensional character, has a motive. And Kenny, even though he was introduced in last season, he's just a full rage monster going after Anthony. As well as Anthony, I love this dude, the son of Daniel LaRusso, specifically because in the first 2 seasons, he was like this little douche son who was all about playing video games, getting the next video game, and I'm not going to listen to you, Dad. Can you buy this game for me? It's like, okay, I don't care about this character at all. And next thing you know, I think it was season 3, he's a little bit older now. He gets like a couple of lines in season 3. And then in season 4, he's like, I don't know, he aged like what, like 2 years in 1 week? It's like, what the heck happened to this kid? And now he has like an actual character arc throughout the last 2 seasons. It's unbelievable. And this character has deserved more, should deserve more than what he ever was in the first 2 seasons. And he gets redemption, not redemption, but he gets motivation being in Miyagi-Do. Gets back at Kenny later, and they just go back and forth, because in last season you'd think that whole Kenny thing and Kenny and Anthony thing is worked out. But Kenny's still going after Anthony, and and things just go awry. And even in the water park, this is something I wrote down, the whole water park scene is hilarious, and it's just so funny to watch this water park scene, like seeing Anthony interact with the girls, and then seeing the bickering, the whole fight thing go down, and then like with Anthony and Kenny, and then Hawk and Kenny talking, interacting like, you don't have the guts to fight me, you don't have the guts to strike first. And then when they're going down, Tori and Hawk or Eli go down the slide and like, you cheated, there's a hole in my tube. All the whole water park scene just worked for me in every way. I just love that part. But yeah, like again, each character is so great. This is one of the things I want to take the time to talk about this while I'm talking about the characters here. But when I mentioned a couple of days ago, I made a vlog. If you missed it, I'll link it up top, about High School Musical, the series, season 3. And how that show took it down a notch for me in season 3, because the characters, they felt like they were taking characters out, putting them in just for like a couple scenes here, like at the end, and it was like, what are you doing? Do you even know what this show's about? And I feel like Cobra Kai, I know it's weird to compare these 2 shows, but Cobra Kai, like they're both kind of high school shows a little bit. This show knows how to use all the characters nicely. Even if they're just side characters, they have a little bit of a arc, they have a little bit of dialogue, and then they use them in some way that comes full circle. It just is so nice. They have like redeemed arcs, a little bit of motive. They all have something to you feel like you're gonna root for them. Like at the end, it's like, okay, come on, do the right thing, or what's gonna happen with this character, and they all do something that you appreciate. And for me in High School Musical, that just didn't work for me. That was something that took it down a notch from the other seasons. But I just wanted to mention that for you if you're kind of like thinking about that for TV shows. Also, I want to mention how Stingray is back. He gets some time to shine in the limelight from the previous seasons. I appreciate that Stingray is back, and I just love seeing Stingray from getting his butt kicked from last time. But yeah, I like seeing him back. So the next thing I want to talk about is the villain, Terry Silver, the character of Terry Silver. He is such a slimy villain, and I love this. This is, in each of the seasons they kind of have a little villain. The first one, there wasn't really one. It was just kind of Johnny and Daniel going at it. And, both the mentors in this season, there's, the mentors, Daniel and Johnny, working together in this season. There's kind of like the father figure for Daniel, or for Johnny and Daniel working together. But the villain is Terry Silver this season, coming back from last season, and he's so good. I love this actor, man. And him teaming up with these other senseis later in the season, and how they work with him and have like the same motives that he does. These guys are just evil. Like they're you know, they're not from any of the other movies, but you just see them and you go, man, they have the same motives. Like, they agree with him, and they work together, and he's so slimy. Like, he does these activities in his class, in his dojo, and for the one student, Tori, and she's like, it's the same thing that Daniel did in Karate Kid 3, and she's like, no, I'll break my hand, it's solid stone. And it's so excruciating to watch when she does this. And he's so slimy, he's just like, yeah, do it anyway. And it's so painful. And then you feel for that character, how she wants to turn, once she wants to get out of there. And it's so good to watch. Like, each villain has developed throughout this show. He is great to watch. And you're not rooting for him, but it's everything about him, his character and his villainous arc is amazing. That's something else I wrote down. The arcs for each character are so well done. And so I'm going to continue this whole character conversation with cameos. And this season does these cameos very well. It's not just like a throwaway, oh, there's that guy, for whatever reason. They bring it in. It's like a Spider-Man No Way Home situation where they use them very nicely. And the first one I want to talk about isn't really a cameo. It's more of like a whole character journey thing with Chosen. He was in it. He was in season 3 for one episode, and then he was in season 4. He actually just might have been in season 4 at the end. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just at the end to tease, oh, he's going to be back in next season. So he gets a full-fledged character arc, and he's in every episode this season. And I love Chosen, man. He's hilarious. I mean, he was definitely a worthy inclusion to have here to this season. He's hilarious. He brings the fights to a whole other level. His dialogue. I mean, everything about this character works. Especially after Karate Kid 2. Like, when we see him in the other seasons of Cobra Kai, this show, it's like, alright, that was neat to see him, but I feel like this season definitely makes his character a little bit more relatable, makes it a little bit more sense because of the story and everything. Now going into the next season, hopefully his journey elevates even more because of the way the season ends with him calling Kumiko, and he has a little bit of interest in her. I hope that he gets, I wouldn't want to call it redeemed, that's not the right word, I want to call it evolve. And because I feel like, oh, he doesn't need redemption. He just needs to evolve with that character. Like, if he gets into a relationship. There are certain things about TV shows, in this show in general, in particular, where it's like, oh, this character, like, they wasted that character. Oh, that plot point didn't get resolved. But I feel like in this show, they try to tie in everything. So I'm sure that they're going to resolve that, continue that journey, continue that arc for Chosen himself. The other thing I talked about, continuing with the cameos, is Mike Barnes, and oh my god, I'm such a lunatic right now, because I don't even remember what her name was, but the cousin of Amanda LaRusso, who is Daniel LaRusso's wife, was actually a friend of Daniel in Karate Kid 3, which they brought back that actress. I think it's amazing what one of the things that this show does, like I said, that the cameos aren't just a throwaway thing, but that they bring back the original actors, and it's like, here they are. It's not just like, oh yeah, I think we should get this actor or actress for this to play this specific character, but no, they brought back that person. Kind of like how last season, was it last season? No, it was season 3, how they brought in Elizabeth Shue, what's her name? Elizabeth Shue, who was the love interest for Daniel and Johnny in the original Karate Kid. So it's nice that they brought in this girl from Karate Kid 3 as the cousin of the wife, and when they lived in Ohio at one point, which is the state I live in, guys. Woo! Get some love for Ohio when they were in that season, when they were in that episode. So I was like, yeah. But yeah, so she was there. Mike Barnes came back to make an appearance, not just in one episode, but a couple of them. So he comes back. You see him. Daniel tries to recruit another Cobra Kai member. So he goes to Mike Barnes, who's working at a furniture store, which he at first doesn't know. And he's like, dude, I own the furniture store. And then Chosen comes in to try to attack them. But then they have a little agreement, like this is actually what's going on. Or like settlement. And then in the finale, they team up again. He teams up to take down Silver with all the other adults. And it's so great. I love this moment. So I love that Mike Barnes was back, the original actor. I've seen him in something, like I've seen him in commercials, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, that's Mike Barnes. So that was great. I love him coming back. And going on with that, speaking of the finale, the fights in this season are great. They have little moments like again, they have the fight in the first episode in Mexico, and then it evolves throughout the other episodes. They have some different rumbles, like the water park thing was great, and all these tiny, like, they don't have any school fights, if I'm trying to remember. I don't think they do, but they have the fight between Miguel and Robbie when Johnny. Yeah, I believe that. I try to remember something. No, nothing at the school. So, yeah, because this is kind of summer. This is summer again. So, Johnny blasts the air horn, and that one dude comes out, and it's like, God, what the heck are you doing? It's like, everybody's going to wake up, but he just wanted Robbie and Miguel. So they come fight. He gets them to fight each other to become friends again and not enemies. And as it's happening, you see them continue fighting through the stairwell, and Johnny tells them to stop, and all of a sudden it's the same similar routine that happened in the school fight where he's gonna push Robbie off of that stairwell or off of that ledge, and he suddenly had the motivation in his head to go through, like, oh, I should stop right now, and he had the idea that they should just stop and calm each other and be friends, which I thought the whole moment was so heartfelt. It was a great scene in and of itself, and I loved it. And then at the end, Johnny just goes, thank God, because if you're still like that when the baby gets here. And then that whole moment, it's like, oh no! And then they're so excited for him. They're in relief, or they're in joy, and they congratulate him. And I love that moment right there. That was a great moment of the season for sure. And like I said, there's another fight scene that happens that both dojos are trying to have a little tournament to get into the Saikai Taikai, like it's this global karate tournament. So, and they kind of cheat each other out, which the ref, I guess, kind of paid Terry Silver to cheat in this event that is happening. And it's so slimy. It's so stupid, or not stupid, but it's so, like, slimy and ridiculous that he would pay off the dude. And I'm like, come on, dude. Why would Terry pay off the ref? And then they're cheating. Kenny does the little not silver bullet thing. The little, is it the silver bullet? When he punches Eli Hawk in the chest and he can't breathe anymore, they got a little cheat because he forfeited that match. But then Sam beats Lee, and the other girl, because Tori leaves. She doesn't want any more to be a part of that. So she leaves. Lee fights Sam, and Sam beats her because she's not, I guess, as high up the level yet, like Tori was. And then Tori gets this whole scene with the brick, or with the stone, I mean. And then at the end, we're going to get to so they party. They have this party, and Sam tries to come see Miguel. They break up, and man, it's so heartfelt. Like I said, I love the relationship effects or arcs in the show. And then he tries to buy her a necklace to get back, an octopus necklace, because she likes octopi. And I'm like, oh, that's adorable. And then they break up. He drops it. She finds it. And when they're at this party at Johnny's place, or I believe it's Johnny's place, because Miguel and Robbie live there, or by there. And then they're drinking from kegs, and all of a sudden Sam goes up to him. And he's drinking another girl. Wow. He's kissing another girl, and all of a sudden she goes to cry. But Tori comes in and tries to make amends with her and say, no, the ref paid paid him off. Like, Terry Silver didn't win. Like, I didn't win the match. He paid him, the ref, off. So this, and then they team up at the end and come in for an epic finale. And as in the finale, there's a great moment where they all team up with each other. And in the episode Bad Eggs, Bad Eggs, it all comes full circle with the eggs. When Chosen comes around and tries to destroy all the eggs for the different Miyagi-Do students, they all come together and form that little huddle to take out the Cobra Kai students at the dojo in the finale. It's so awesome. I love that bad egg thing coming full circle. But yeah, the finale was great when the adults, when they're coming from that, when the adults, Daniel, Chosen, Johnny, Amanda, and Carmen go home, but they get in a limo, and it's not who you think is driving it. It's actually Mike Barnes, and he's annoyed that his furniture store got burned down. But then they all team up. They have this little conversation like, "No, we're gonna take it down his butt tonight." So I love that. And they go to his house. They trespass and assault, fight off all his little goons, all the little other members people he recruited. Senseis, I guess is the right word. And then all the kids go to the dojo, and then the kids are all fighting each other, and like I said, they use the bad egg strategy at the end there. And then Daniel, once everybody's fighting, man, Chosen, and I love the scene where Chosen and Terry Silver are fighting with the swords. The cinematography of that scene was probably one of my favorite moments of this season. I don't know. When they're walking through that pool. Oh, and the auction part in that episode with the auction, when he's like giving the bonsai trees away. Man, that was so slimy. And then, and Terry Silver's like, "No, this is what I actually said about your wife." And then he punches him, and it's like, oh my god! It was so intense. I'm going, why would you say that why would you, like, say one thing about his wife to the woman and then not say something else about his wife? I'm like, dude, that is insane. Like, that is insane. Like, you say something about his wife, and then you lie about it, and then, yeah, I would get mad. I'm like, why would you say that about my wife? Or anything, anybody. Like, dude, for real? But yeah, the moment when Chosen and Terry Silver fighting with the swords was some incredible cinematography with the pool and the water and the bush, everything. When they're walking, the sword, and then he cuts him, and then the blood's just hanging off that. It looks so good. And, I mean, I never knew that I needed someone like cutting someone and then having blood in the Cobra Kai show, but hey, it works. I like it. I'm a fan. So yeah, all that worked for me, them fighting them off. Mike Barnes, I thought was really going to be just done after that first takeout, and then he comes back, and I'm like, yeah, Cobra Kai, no mercy. Well, he didn't say that because it's not Cobra Kai, but I'm wondering, I love the whole finale, all the battles, everything. I'm wondering if Mike Barnes will be in next season, but I'm getting ahead of myself here, so hang on. Yeah, their whole strategy to get this footage of Stingray being beaten up by Terry Silver on the TV, but then it gets frozen. The part of it was erased, but then Tori has the idea to get the footage that she had when she was talking with Terry about the ref. So they put that up there. They're fighting. The adults come in, Daniel, Johnny, and Mike's not there, but Amanda and Daniel, Amanda, and Carmen are there, and they watch all this, and they watch what's afoot, and all the kids are like, what? And then Daniel and Terry have a little fight, and when Daniel's fighting Terry, he uses his 3 strategies from Karate Kid 3. I'm like, yeah, baby, that was sick. So, and he uses the silver bullet thing that Sam does when she fights a lot. So, I thought it was a great finale, epic finale, a banger. I love what this show does. Like, all the episodes progressing are really worth it. And the finale definitely nailed it on all levels. I mean, and I'm not just saying that because I have to. I'm definitely saying that because I feel like this season in particular was one I was looking forward to. Last season was great. I think all the seasons are great in their own way. But when I watched last season, I'm like, that's all leading up to a tournament. I know what's going to happen. This person's going to go up against this person, and then I'm going to go, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And I didn't know what the finale was going to be last season, but this season I felt like, okay, this can go any direction, and it kind of did. So I love this, nailed it on all cylinders. Like I said, I'm not gonna give this review or this season a specific number. I mean, I could say 8 out of 10, but it's so arbitrary. I mean, I feel like this season is definitely better than the last, and that's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. But I love the finale. It's just, I could keep talking about it for days. The fact that that Kreese had this little rigmarole thing of trying to get out, the scenario of trying to get out of the prison, and now he broke free. What's the future for Cobra Kai Season 6? He's gonna be there. Is he gonna join up with that lady, with that evil sensei lady, to form Saikai Taikai and get Cobra Kai? Or what's gonna happen? Because now all the Cobra Kai kids turn once Terry Silver was defeated, they are out of Cobra Kai again. So everybody's redeemed, and Sam and Miguel are back in the relationship. So I'm like, what's gonna happen now? Who's gonna? All the people are gonna join Miyagi-Do, and they're all gonna take down Sensei Kreese. I'm like, what's gonna happen? Is Mike Barnes gonna be a Sensei Miyagi-Do? Is he gonna come back? What's gonna happen? I'm excited to see Chosen get more character arc, but I am looking forward to all this stuff in Season 6. This season of Cobra Kai nailed it. I love this show. The writing is great. Didn't disappoint me at all. I feel like it's better than the last season. Again, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. That's everything. That's all my notes I wrote down for this season. Season 5 of Cobra Kai. Let me know what you thought of this season down below in the comment section. Don't forget to follow me at Boba Fett Jedi Master. Links down below. Subscribe to the channel. Lego Dude 11. Be part of the family. And as always, guys, don't forget to keep calm and play Lego. And don't forget to strike first, strike hard. No mercy. Cobra Kai never dies. Peace out, everyone. Bye.